But whatever your reason is for buying a van, converting it, living out of it, or just traveling in it in general, before you even do all of that, I highly recommend you do this one thing before you make that leap of faith, because it could change your entire perception of van life going forward. But first, let's talk about today's sponsor, Keeps. Did you know 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the age of 35? Well, if you think you're one of those people, the best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some hair follicles left in your little noggin, okay? Don't wait too long. When you use Keeps, you can get treated from home and you don't have to worry about any doctor's visits because it's the future, baby, and everything happens online. And they mail you all of your medication that you'll ever need every 3 months straight to your doorstep. Also, Keeps offers the generic versions of the FDA-approved medications for hair loss preventions, which means that it's super affordable. And while you're on this journey to preventing baldness, if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to your Keeps doctor at any point. And you can track your progress with the Keeps progress tracking tool. It's freaking sick. So with that being said, if you're ready to take action and start your hair loss prevention journey right now, choose Keeps by going to keeps.com/thefineprint. Or you can click the link in the description of this video and get 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/thefineprint. Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, okay? Today I'm going to answer one of the most asked questions that I get about living in a van. And that question is, how do you get started living in a van? Well, my friends, I've been living in a van for almost 3 years now, so maybe I've got some good insight on how to get into the lifestyle. There are a few things that you should consider. However, it's really not that hard. But before we jump into all that nonsense, I'm gonna make me some coffee because I am deep in the North Carolina wilderness right now. It is the peak of fall. It's really chilly, and I don't have my heater on right now because it's really loud, and I can't have something on that's loud when I'm filming a video. That's some good coffee right there, boy. All right. How about you guys have a seat real quick? Let's have a talk. So the question that everyone asks every van lifer is, how did you get started in van life? How did you manage to make this leap of faith to live this crazy lifestyle of living and traveling out of a van? Well, in a few of my past videos, I've actually touched on it briefly, but I'll give you a quick little rundown here for the sake of the video. In early 2018, I got my heart broken. I hate saying that, it sounds so lame, but it's the reality, man. My heart was broken, my world shattered, and I just lost a lot of drive in my life, and I needed some sort of change, a wild change to bring me back the excitement of being alive again. All my life I had lived in a house, and I just thought it would be cool to live out of a van just like you. So I just said, screw it. I need this right now. I need this change. I need this drastic change in my life. And I just did it. I bought the van on Craigslist for $6,000, which is a lot for some people, but I had been saving that money up for quite some time. And then I got my brother, who is a lot more construction savvy, to help me out on the build process. And over the next 2 months, I believe, we built out this old Dodge van, and we really did it pretty bare bones, but it served its purpose, and it allowed me to travel across the country for about a year and a half and meet incredible people, make incredible memories. So to wrap that up, the way I really got started is just life just kind of threw it at me, I guess. And something was just yanking at my heart and telling me, this is your chance to do something wild and crazy. And now here I am living my best life and haven't looked back since. You know, everyone's story may be different. You know, not everyone has a traumatic event that pushes them to do something crazy like this. And that may be your case. It may just be that you think living and traveling in a van seems kind of cool. And if that is the case, that's totally okay. But whatever your reason is for buying a van, converting it, living out of it, or just traveling in it in general, before you even do all of that, I highly recommend you do this one thing before you make that leap of faith, because it could change your entire perception of van life going forward. And that thing is, if you have a vehicle that you drive every day, whether it's a car, SUV, or truck, take that vehicle and go camp and go sleep in your vehicle for a night. Whether it's rainy, sunny, cloudy, whether it's cold or hot, go out there and camp and build a fire and be among all the elements and really live out of your vehicle for a day or two, or even multiple days. And doing something like this gives you quite a bit of perspective on the lifestyle that Instagram and Facebook and YouTube doesn't really show. I mean, we often show you, I'm guilty of this as well, we often show you a lot of the glamorous sides of the lifestyle, but in reality, sleeping in a vehicle is honestly pretty vulnerable and scary sometimes. I mean, when you're in remote places in a vehicle, you don't really feel all that protected. Even though there's this metal sheet blocking you from the outside world, it's still kind of hard sometimes. And it's cold, it's hot, it's creepy at night when you're by yourself. So I highly recommend, before you invest a lot of money into this lifestyle, go sleep in your car a couple times. I promise you, it'll do you good. It'll probably give you a surefire answer of whether or not you actually want to do this. So, something to consider. But let's just say you've had your fair share of car camping trips in your lifetime. So you're not the noob that I'm making you seem to be. Well, if that is the case, and you're ready to purchase a van, as someone that's lived and traveled in a very bare bones van and a really luxurious van like this one, I highly recommend you buy something used. Something super cheap right off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, couple $1,000s or less even. Look at it as like a trial version of van life. And when you do purchase something used and cheap, I also highly recommend building it out very bare bones. And I mean the barest of the bones at first. Don't invest a whole bunch of money in it at first. Literally put a mattress in there, an air mattress, and even put a camping stove in there and just a few boxes full of clothes. And that's all that you need right off the bat. And take that bare bones van on a few trips. Live the lifestyle in the barest of ways. And while you're living like that, almost basically homeless, it'll be really, really hard at first, but I promise you in the long run, it'll be very beneficial to you, because right then you'll be able to identify, again, whether or not you're even capable of enjoying this lifestyle, but it'll also help you identify what exactly you need in such a confined space in order to be really comfortable. Because you have to think, if you are planning on living in this van, you have to know for a fact before you put a lot of money into it what you truly need versus what you truly want. And it took me 2 vans to figure that one out. My first build was fairly bare bones. I mean, yeah, it was a little more nice than some people's, but in reality, I mean, I had a cooler instead of a refrigerator, and I had a camping stove instead of this bad boy, and my water system was a foot pump. And at the time, that was enough for me, and it wasn't too much of a risk for me as an investment, so I felt comfortable with the idea that, you know what, if I jump into this after all this work, you know, I'm really not losing that much monetarily, and I can just sell it and hopefully recoup what I lost and not go negative. And last but definitely not least is step 3, and it's something that you're not gonna like to hear, but it is the reality. Just do it. Just go for it. This is such an abrupt change in your way of living that there's really no real surefire way to be fully prepared for the journey that you're about to go on, that is living and traveling in a van. And that journey, I mean both physically and emotionally. This lifestyle will absolutely change you. And there's really no way that you could fully predict the outcome of it. And there's no way that you can fully be ready for the change that's about to come of you. I know that money is an issue, but there are alternatives. You don't have to live as luxurious as this. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy. Just put a bed back there, put a camping stove in there, and just do it. Buy an old crappy van for $800 on Craigslist and just go for it. It's not about the Instagram-worthy posts and pictures and videos that you see. Yes, I mean, they glorify the lifestyle and they show you all the highlights of it, but what it doesn't capture is the emotional and physical journey that you go on when you commit to such an abrupt change like this. When you set out on this adventure, you're going to learn so much about yourself, and it's going to change your perspective on the world and how you perceive life and perceive people and your friendships and relationships with people. It is such an emotional journey that Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube just cannot capture. And it's kind of something you just have to go off and do on your own to figure out on your own, because it is a personal journey at the end of the day. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are my words of wisdom for today. I hope it was at least a little bit informative for you, and hopefully I gave you some insight and perspective on what to expect out of jumping into this lifestyle. If you enjoyed this video today, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my video get into the algorithm and show it to the rest of the world. And the best thing that you could really do for me is just share this video with your friends, especially if there's someone that's looking into this lifestyle. I just spill coffee everywhere, but that's okay because I'll clean that up. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Peace!